Right, hello everybody, Malakith here and welcome back to Empyrion. So this should be an interesting set of episodes that you get from now on. I have done some stuff off camera, which is what I will spend the beginning of this episode covering to get you up to speed with where I am, what I was doing and why I wasn't showing it. So of course, step one is turn my base on. Probably notice that quite a few things is, oh, I never turned it off, excellent. There's still plenty of power, it's all good. So, we have the growth corner, nothing changed, it all looks normal. And you'll start seeing a couple of storage boxes, which weren't there before. And a second constructor, that was just because, well, if we look inside, I had a lot of ore to process. It was going to take a very long time, and, well, there's still a load more to do. So I built a second constructor to, do that on the side while I ran around doing whatever I was doing. We then also have a third constructor because, well, the reason is this is an advanced constructor. So if we take, for example, this one, go to, I think it'll be that tab and the base, you can see we can build fuel tank 1, fuel tank 2, and generator tier 1. Come over here. Suddenly you've got fuel tank 3, generator tier 2, and it unlocks a load of extra stuff you otherwise wouldn't be able to get access to. I managed to hunt down enough of Zacosium and Erestrum from a couple of the sites. I think I found them up here in the Crash Titan. I just went on a little scavenge through the boxes, and from that managed to build this, which actually lets me get the parts I'm going to need for the capital vessel. I stuck a seat on top of here, and the reason is there's other people on the server. So this is the server owner. This is one of the other guys I play with reasonably regularly, and there was another guy around. There's also 2 extra randomers on the server, which is here, who are, I believe, that base we found in the mountains a few episodes back. But not much has changed out here. It's still got the terrible decor. Don't worry about that. The real change, however, is what used to be the front door is now completely enclosed, including my now 3 oxygen hydrogen generators, so I can get all of the hydrogen and all of the oxygen and never hopefully run out. And to some extent it was to protect these and give me access to them without having to worry about getting sort of damaged, but at the same sort of thing, it wasn't the real reason. The real reason you will see when we go to the roof, which has also had a rework. So we now have 2 turrets this end, 2 turrets that end, and a nice big old landing pad for the capital vessel that we're going to be building. I've also painted it black because I worked out there's a color tool as well as the texture and symbol tool, so we can color things rather than having to use those horrible textures. So that's the base. Other things I did, I went round most of my primary nodes and dropped down auto miners. I think you may have seen me do these ones, but I also managed to get the copper and the silicon. And for the past 3 to 4 days, I've just been logging on twice a day and basically just emptying those of huge amounts of ore. So we'll just repower the base while we're here. Because I left it on overnight, it's rather drained. Let's chuck our oh yeah. In case you haven't noticed, I found a lot of resources in those auto miners. It's something silly like 8,000 iron ingots. I mean, that's just an obscene amount of promethium pellets. None of this has been manually mined. It's all been auto mined. So you can see the benefits of an auto miner right here. For God's sake, finger, click the right damn thing. There we go. Right. Let's make 200 of those. Keep that running. So in the crates over here, we've got my stashes of oxygen. Just deployable blocks, and in here is the stash of capital vessel parts, as I decided you guys wouldn't want to see me sit here and make 200 steel blocks. Admittedly, we're going to need a lot more than 200, but it meant I could, I could get a start going, so we can at least get the outline of the thing built rather rapidly. Let me just look at chat quickly. Lots of people just showing up because we've only just started, of course. How many episodes ahead is this? It's about 3 to 4 ahead of the current YouTube thing. I mean, this is going to be very different content to what you see in those other episodes, so it's not a massive thing if you're ahead. It's not really a story game. I'm going to remove this because it makes it very difficult to get out of the door. Right. So, let's go empty all of my auto miners and hang on. Do I have enough? Yeah, I've got enough fuel packs. We can refill them all so that they're going for the day. I'll also let you see what I had to do. I rebound a key. Give me a moment. I also let you see what I had to do to get access to the silicon node, because that was entertaining. I found a silicon node a lot closer to the base than the previous one we were using, but it was right next to a drone base. So I had to get creative to get access. So you can see we got 378 promethium ore, because this is only at 24% source quality, which is pretty bad. But, it's enough promethium for me to keep powering all of these things. You saw how many pellets were in the box a minute ago. Go grab the cobalt. Whee! This one will have a lot more in. See? Nice big stash. Wait for it to start and then put the extra one in. Now we get to the 2 irons and the magnesium, and then we'll head over to the new 2 that you won't have seen yet, which is the copper and the silicon. The copper one's pretty uneventful. Oh, wow, that was bad. There we go. I have also leveled my character up to 20, so we can now unlock everything we wish. I did that mostly by murdering everything in sight. Killing stuff is still by far the quickest way to level. This will get segmented up into videos later, don't worry. If you've got terrible internet, you feel free to vanish off and catch up later. Someone in chat's having issues with Twitch or YouTube, whichever they're watching. Good thing about YouTube actually is you could pause it, let it buffer for 20 minutes or whatever in the background while you do something else, and then try to catch up later. But obviously, if you want to just come back another day and watch it on the video, I won't say anything against that. Probably actually gets me more advertising revenue. Not that that's even remotely why I do this to begin with, because I'd still be playing Mount and Blade every day if that was the case. The speed the moon burns across the sky is a bit crazy. Relative to you burning around the planet as well. A wild Chad appears. That's stepping around. Oh, hello. Die, slime, die! Noticed we need to actually get some more ammo put in here. My latest murder spree has extinguished most of my ammo supplies. Right, onto the copper. I believe was over this mountain. This one's rather dull. It's the silicon one that gets interesting. Right, so if we have a quick look at the map, silicon I used was this one here. And this is an Epsilon outpost, which is a drone outpost with very big nasty guns on it. It's just across this lake here. We can get close enough to at least see it. Rather not get shot by it. It's hiding in those trees. Yeah, you can just about make it out. So it spawns drones and all sorts of other nastiness. And you really don't want to go anywhere near it. So what I did was I landed down here, behind the mountain, where you couldn't be seen. The observant of you would have spotted what I did already. And then dug myself a cave network. Using the tier 2 drill, just removing material. Dug myself a giant cave that sneaks all the way down to the resource, keeping the ceiling covered. I had to fill it in a few places because it did open up a gap and one of the rocket drones tried shooting at me. And then we got it down next to the silicon. There we can steal the resources in peace and quiet off the edge of the silicon node. So that's something you can always do if there's an enemy base next to something you want. Equally, you could continue that tunnel and dig under the enemy base, come up in the middle of it. Food, because their food bar's low. Yes, apparently I am king of the mole people, according to chat now. Get back to recharge, and then we can get out. Oop, there we go. Now, one of the other guys playing was set up in this crater. I know he wasn't enjoying it because it was a trek for him to get to both water for, you know, fuel, hydrogen and oxygen, and it was also a trek to get to any of the resource nodes, especially as most of the ones in the area were, you know, grabbed by my auto miners. So he may well have moved on, but we'll go have a peek over the mountain and see what he's up to. He's still in the area. Oh, what is that? Oh, that's part of the Crash Titan, that's fine. He was set up, I think it was in this one. Yeah, it was. He was set up in here. It looks like he's moved on. Now, the next nearest place with a big stash of resources is north. The village. It'll be there. Ah, there we go. We might have found it. What's that? There we go. Oh, he's got rounded edges and everything. Actually looks believable as a base as opposed to my giant concrete block of death. Some weird sort of submarine pen thing going on, or I guess that's just the start of his next bit of his building. Yeah, it looks half finished. Got a grow area, growing some of those weird vine plants. You see in the windows? There he is. Well, there somebody is. Ah, spotted. Leg it. Who's that going to be? Oh, yeah, there he is. It's Beelzebub. My base. I think I've overshot. Yeah, southeast. I did think the green window. It's just as well it's not a PvP server, because if you just showed up at the window like that, I think someone would wet themselves. Right, so that's like 15-20 minutes of me showing you what's been going on whilst you guys haven't been watching effectively because I wasn't recording it. So hopefully you're not too upset with what you missed out on, because I didn't feel it was amazingly interesting to watch. I thought you would have preferred me sorting it out. But let me know in comments if you did really want to see it for whatever reason, just so I know for future. Transition some of this stuff across and stack up construction. 100, oh no, another 900 magnesium. 700 something copper. And 1,300-ish cobalt. Right, we'll just leave that one running. Oh, and silicon as well, don't we? That one can just sit quietly in the corner, chugging away, making me all my stuff. This is the one we'll use to actually build things. And you're making my hydrogen packs, so I can restock the base, which we'll just do quickly. Check them all. I think this one is empty. Yep, you can tell from the glow, but I struggle occasionally with the light. I don't know if it's anything to do with my colour blindness or not. It could just be me being blind. Anyway, right. What have I got on me that I don't particularly need? Seat. The cement and plastic and raw materials can go in here. Keep the food. Found a load of cans at some point, I don't know where. Right. Let's grab the stuff. So we're going to want a starter block. One thing we are going to want out here is the wood blocks. You'll see why. I won't go into too much detail as to yet. Combat steel and normal steel. We'll come back and get the rest as we require it. I expect telling this to build a crap ton more steel blocks would be sensible. Right. Off it goes. Right, so the question is, how wide do I want my ship? Stick a wood block in here so I can use it as a space. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11 wide is my landing pad area within the actually 13, but we're about halfway along it. Yeah, so that is the middle. That wide enough? Okay. So if I make the inner skin fit within this boundary, then I can stack up outer layers another, so it's double skinned, and that will mean I still miss the 2 guns, I think. And if we got long enough landing gear, we should be above the guns, but that'll depend. Right, so the reason I've got the wooden blocks is I want the core central to the ship. I want it reasonably high. How high do we want it? 1 more? No. Okay, let me think this through. So landing gear level. Outer skin. Inner skin. Central block's gonna be. Okay, so let's have 2 high. Center block. That's actually the one I want then. Except it doesn't stick like that because it's a different kind of thing. That potentially wasn't the way I wanted it facing. Okay, the front of the ship is the other end to the end I thought it would be. We will remove that cockpit because that's not the cockpit I want to use. So let's get rid of that. Have the combat steel. Now let's start removing some of these other blocks. What I will do is very similar to what they've done in game. Draw myself a coloured key so I know which way is forwards. Blue. Right. Now the reason I'm replacing these steel blocks is they're normal steel. The combat steel has a lot more health. Given it's protecting our core block, which if it ever gets knocked out, the ship falls out of the sky, it's, you know, kind of important. It is going to give me a problem with the support there, so if I... How do we want to do this? I stick that on there, and then we make that the floor level for something. Combat blocks on the corners. Should be able to see what I'm going to do in a moment. Ah, the weight. That wasn't what we wanted to happen. That's going to be a problem. Can we break it effectively into position? It's not enjoying it. Okay, I might have to go get my thruster blocks and put them on a bit earlier than I wished. Hoping that wouldn't happen. Never mind. Hey Chinny, I'm also streaming on YouTube at the same time. Where's my other thruster blocks, game? Made stacks of those. Guess maybe I didn't. It's not a matter of balancing the weight. I don't think it's structural integrity. It broke at the join effectively. to somehow try and get some landing gear on it. So it's got something to stand on. And hoping I can use the thrusters to control it a little bit, but could be a problem. Oh, I'm going to need the A cockpit on it as well, aren't I? Let's use a different one for that if I can. No, because it doesn't have the resources. I didn't want to use that terrible cockpit, but we're going to have to, I think. I should have one. Yeah, it's there. Never mind. Ignore me. Go stick that down. Would block out the way. Them in. Yeah, darkness, that's going to help matters, isn't it? No, wrong way. I want this one. Let's just go check the size of these against... Yeah, they are the size I want. So we're going to want thrusters for each facing. So... what I wanted to do. Seriously. There we go. One for that way. That way. This isn't where they're going to stay, it's just to get me enough control of the damn shape. Doing what I think it's doing. That's fine. Man, making these things is slow. Let's have a quick look at what landing blocks we've even got available. Gear, we can have big sort of skid things. That's pretty sizable. One high, okay. We could get one that's too high. Intriguing. How much space I want, I guess. Oh, we've got two more. I think at this point one in each direction should be enough because the weight's not too high, but later on we may need more, which is why I'm building more. Right, no, that's not right, just while I checked. Good. We just need an up and a down, which we can stick on the top. You don't actually have to have the jet facing outwards. You can face the jet into a solid object and it will still operate because physics, yo.